Brothers and sisters, misses and misters, Bible thumpers and sunshine pumpers, today we're going to tiptoe through some treacherous tulips. We're going to talk about a subject that might be sensitive to a lot of people. My name is Dobie Maxwell. This is the Dented Cast. This is Max Bumgardner, award-winning broadcaster. We were teammates on the same radio show in Chicago on a station that is no longer in existence called The Loop, so we can plug it all we want to. And we extended this because we are dented cans, and if you're watching this, chances are you are too. And today's episode, the J word. The J word? Is there a J word? Jesus.
I'm a believer, and I won't get too deep into the woods, but I'm a believer. I really am. And I can say that I would rather show people that I'm a believer than tell people. And I know that's not what I'm doing right now, but both Dobie and I have had experiences with people who are self-proclaimed Christians, and some of those people did us wrong the most, which, I mean, that's happened a few times.
They'll screw you the hardest in Jesus' name. There's a shirt that I had. I wish I had a copy of it. It's big. It says Jesus in big letters, and in small letters underneath, "Protect me from your followers." And I think I don't want to start stuff off the top. I think Jesus is a fictional character.
Okay.
I don't believe he was the Son of God. I don't think there is a God to have a son. I think it's a cartoon character like Santa Claus. And I don't mean any disrespect. There was a long time or a lot of years that I didn't think that. But I think that now. And I'm not trying to make any kind of thunderbolts go off, and I'm not trying to piss off the cosmos. People say, well, see, you don't believe in Jesus. That's why your life is shit. No, my life was shit long before Jesus ever was in the picture. You know, and I think some people use it as a crutch. I know my father did. And it made me despise the whole church thing. And I'm not just picking on the Christian religion. I think religion in general is a crutch for a lot of people. And some people are genuine, and it truly helps. And there's a guy named Jordan Maxwell, no relation. I don't know if you know who that is. He has a very, almost a scientific explanation of what the symbolicness of Jesus is in as far as the Bible. And it made a lot of sense to me. And he's not trying to be disrespectful or blasphemous, and I'm not trying to be that way at all. I respect your opinion. I'm listening to it. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean you're wrong. And I want to open up this very sensitive, tender powder keg so we can all just talk and see all sides and make our own conscious decision without just having it thrust upon you. I think sometimes people, they're forced church, religion when they're a kid, and they just don't ask questions. They just, well, this is what I am, or this is what my parents are. That's what I am too. I don't think that's good.
Oh, it's not. I mean, even as we tape this today in our day right now, there is conflict all over the world. One is in Israel with the Palestinians. That's happening right now. That's been going on since 1948. You can Google the conflict because it's kind of hard to believe that it's still going on, but it is still going on. That's based in religion.
Generations born, die, new generations, fight's not over.
Right. And
Red
it's
flag,
sad.
man.
It is sad.
Yeah.
That, to me, is nothing to do with the concept of Jesus at all. So the concept, let's talk about that, because you've read the Bible, you read it when you were 13 years old.
Saw the movie, read the book, joined the fan club.
But I mean, the concept, whether you believe in it or not, because I have other friends that also believe. I have one friend that's a believer in God because of consciousness, okay? But he thinks that Jesus is a fable.
Okay, good word.
And he thinks that the teachings of Jesus are a fable. All of it's a fable. That's what he thinks. It's a good story. There is a God. He goes, but that was put there for a reason. That's his belief. Okay. He also believes in the Tao, Tao Te Ching. So he thinks that precedes the concept of God. We won't get off into that too far. I love to talk with him about it. I have Muslim friends. I know you do too. I have I wouldn't call them a friend, but they're acquaintances because it's been a while now. But they're Hindu. Okay. Mm-hmm. I know some Buddhists. I have a couple of friends that are practicing Buddhists. Okay. But most of my friends, we both have quite a few people that we would call friends that are Jewish.
I've been in show business my entire life. Mm-hmm. I can't think of one Jewish person in show business. I'll just let that slide.
Oh, yeah.
I want to
So,
be
yeah.
Marlon Brando. I'll just
Okay.
we'll leave it there.
Yeah, we got fired a week before Christmas back in Chicago, so that didn't matter. Change for the sake of change.
One thing I will say, though, I think we'll both agree on this. Whether Jesus existed or not, number one, he was not the Caucasian bass player for Foghat image
Right.
that we see with the flowing hair.
Right.
Looks like Ted Nugent tour bus.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Six-pack.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the long white thing.
Yeah.
And he's got a Coke in one hand and a Arby's roast beef in the other. He's Mr. Ad guy. I don't think that's who Jesus was if he did exist.
That's as ridiculous, Dobie. We agree on this. That's as ridiculous as putting snow up
Yeah,
next to the manger at your nativity scene at Christmas time.
Right.
Snow with a naked baby. I mean, it just, blah, doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's funny to me. One time when I was a kid, I had some many black friends. My neighborhood, I'm really thankful for the neighborhood I grew up in that it was very diverse back then. We had Muslims, we had black and white and Asian and everybody. It just happened
Big
to
city.
be. Yeah, but a lot of big city, Milwaukee is. I always heard the big cities. Oh, it's the most segregated city in America, and Chicago was that, and then I went to Pittsburgh, then that was that, and I went to Detroit. I heard it was that way too. But in Milwaukee, it's very much they live here, those live here, that kind of thing. So the neighborhood I did was changing and growing, and I was very fortunate, I think, to see a lot of different cultures as a kid, and I really am thankful for that today. And every place that we went, we had kids of different, we go over their house, and I noticed that no matter where we went, when we had lunch, the other ones, whoever the other ones were, their dishes were washed separately.
Right.
Then you know what I'm saying? They're the polluted, filthy, unclean pigs.
Meat, milk. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I respect that kind of stuff. But it was the Jesus thing. So it was a black kid's house. Curtis Weathers, if you're alive today, I love you, Curtis. And there was a black Jesus picture.
Good.
In their house. Yeah.
Good.
But I'm 10.
Right.
And I looked at it gave me a double take. And as an adult, it's like, well, okay. It's probably more accurate than the one that we get.
Right.
And I think, the Middle Eastern one, what about, Chinese people, if they happen to be Christians? I'm sure there's billions of them. And what about a Chinese Jesus? I mean, I think it's the concept, like you were saying, is what I'm saying. And it shouldn't be, no, he's not white. He's supposed to be for all of us.
Right.
That's the theory, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, so do we agree on, what he's love. He represents love.
No, his father does.
Well, but he's his father, you know what I mean?
That's where I get a little lost.
Everybody does.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Let's just stick on Jesus right now.
Okay.
Is there anything that that he said in the red letters or in the New Testament that you disagree with? That you can remember?
Yeah, if someone takes your coat, give him your hat too, or the whole thing, turn the other cheek.
Well, and like you pointed out in the God episode that we did, in his time the language was Aramaic. You're right.
I think I'm yes, correct.
Okay, and we're speaking in English.
And there's many translations through thousands of years.
There's been translations and stuff, so I don't know that he said coat and hat, but maybe he did.
Cloak, whatever the word is.
Whatever.
It's been a long time.
Whatever the word was that he said. So you don't agree with that?
I will say this: it's much easier said than done.
Right. I agree, but we agree.
Okay.
We agree. Okay.
Okay.
The problem that I have with most what we'd call Christians is, first of all, Jesus wasn't Christian.
He's Jewish.
He was Jewish. Plus, he didn't say necessarily start a religion after me.
That's true too.
Okay. So, that's where I get kind of upset sometimes, I guess. I think people screw things up.
I will agree with you there.
I still believe, and I think religion screw things up.
And who created those people in your mind? So he's making a dented can factory.
Is he or
Or she.
are we?
Well, we're not doing a good job of whatever the instructions we're getting. We're not reading the instructions.
Okay.
Like making a bike for your kid on Christmas Eve. There's some nuts and bolts left over when that bike's under the tree. And if the free will, okay, you're going to give the 2-year-old a gun? Well, no wonder you're going to blow somebody's head off. You know, the free will and the choice, well, we fucked it up for thousands of years.
I don't think you're wrong.
It ain't getting better.
I do think it's getting better in some ways. And I've been searching for, I'm searching for evidence of it getting better. I'm not trying to back up why I feel the way I feel.
And here is the running theme for what we're doing with this whole entire project is to focus on the good. And I have a big problem doing that, and it's been drilled into my head since my earliest memories. I'm shit, I'm stupid, you're here, and if you do something bad, we're going to send you away. And it is so ingrained and grooved into my soul, my psyche, my being, my DNA, that it's going to take me a lot of conscious years of undoing that. And I think you watching can relate to that too, because you're the same way. You know, I was just... This is way off the topic of Jesus, and you can edit it out if you don't like it. But I'm going to tell a story right now. When I was in a radio station in Milwaukee, the overnight guy, I was on the morning show, worked at a strip club, okay? And he said, hey, man, I know you do your comedy shows. We have an opening at the strip club from noon to 8 p.m. on Friday. It's 1 day a week. If we can't fill that shift, you can do it as long as you want to. You get off the air at 10 o'clock in the morning from your morning show. You work at the strip club from noon to 8 o'clock at night. And then you can do your comedy gigs if you got some local. It's a long day, but I said, wow, man, that sounds really good. A strip joint? That's going to be really great. And Max, I lasted 1 day because it was so sad and so horrible. And I see these beautiful women. It was a pretty upscale strip joint in the Milwaukee area. And they were just... Talk about dented cans. They should all be watching this show. And they're physically beautiful, but the inside was a mess and a wreck. And they're basically showing this beauty that whatever God or whatever nature gave them and created them to drunken, toothless, sailor, maggot, low-life, fungus-infested loser pieces of maggoty shit. And I mean that in a friendly and a customer service kind of a way, because we all have our faults. But I thought, you know what? I can't last more than a day because this is so sad, because they inside them did not see anything worthwhile. Does that what I'm saying? I don't want to be around that vibe. And I think that vibe is everywhere. And I can't see why God, Jesus, whoever it is, allows that to continue. It boggles my mind. I can't deal with it.
I think we have choices. And I think Jesus would go with you to that place and would offer each one of those people love, which is what they need in the first place. The guys in the audience and the girls on the stage.
My grandpa told me that as a kid. He goes, there's two bad parent jobs. The girl dancing, exactly what you said. The guys watching, the girls dancing. There's two bad father jobs right there, both sides of the pole.
Right.
You're right.
Right. So I believe Jesus is love. That's what I believe. You know, whether he was... European looking in the Middle East at the time.
I think it kind of looked like Danny DeVito.
He probably did. Actually, there is a picture, and I could give a link to it, that I think it was the Discovery Channel, based on what people look like, first of all, at the time, and based on a bunch of different factors, they gave a picture.
Let me ask you this. Okay, what if there was a Jesus and he was black? I think that would affect, I hate to say it, wouldn't affect my opinion one way or another. But a lot of people, Jesus couldn't be black. Why not?
I think he was, first of all. Okay.
Closer to black than he was.
Well, and I think that is right there reason for people to stop and check themselves. And I worry about religious people. Mm-hmm. In my mind, not trying to ruffle feathers, I think the concept of Jesus is bigger than religion. I really do. So I equate Jesus with love and forgiveness. That's what his message was to me. In my mind, you know, when he's being persecuted and literally hung on a cross, can you imagine having railroad spikes, whatever they were, but the equivalent nails, whatever, driven through your hands, and being spit on. You had to drag that thing through the streets. Being spit on then through your legs and left to die. And still at the same time, trying to forgive the people who did it to you. That to me, even if it didn't happen, is an amazing demonstration of love someone, forgive them, forgive them, just forgive them.
It unplugs all my circuits.
Okay.
I can't relate to it.
All right.
I don't remember love as a kid. Didn't get it from my mother or father. Didn't get it from my grandma. Gramps was a dented can too. I felt some positivity from him. Mm-hmm. But as far as that whole love and forget, I didn't feel it, so how can I do it? I think it's again,
I don't know the answer to that.
Well, I don't have it. I'm just telling you, I'm unplugged from it, man. I can't relate to that.
I feel like that's the goal with regard to Jesus or the concept of Jesus. I feel like that's the goal.
Well, I'm not in that ballpark, and I'm the first one to admit it. And I'm sorry. I thought I was for a long time, and I think it's a fictional character like Bruce Lee, the character.
What about the concept of?
Okay, that's what I'm totally off the rails. Everybody else was born the natural way. There's one case where God put his finger and planted the seed, and it's all flaming shit. I'm sorry.
Okay, but I'm talking about what about the concept of him giving us a way to live and us living that way? What if you heard that from when you were a kid? If one of the Green Bay Packers wrote a book that was the same, I think an impressionable kid who came from a rough home would say, "Hey, well, he said it's this is a great way to live, but because it's religion, packaged in religion, you're not down with it." Are you capable of forgiving everyone?
I have a real hard time with it, Max, and I work on it all the time, and I'm the first one to admit it. I want to, and they say forgiveness is for the forgiver,
right?
Not the forgivee,
right?
And there are people that I need to forgive, but damn it, sometimes I can't let it go, man. I'll be the first one to admit it.
And do you feel like I'm not trying to poke you? Okay,
you can poke me whatever you want.
No,
to.
I'm not trying to ball it up.
We're gonna go out.
Bolo
man.
punch.
It's go time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna Fred Sanford you. Cross your lip.
Do you feel like when you can't forgive, that's why you can't move past the pain?
Yeah, maybe so. I want to, can't do it. It sounds good in theory. So does communism.
Go back to communism on paper. Right?
On paper.
Yeah.
Forgiveness on paper. But your father, your mother,
they're dead. I know your mom's probably not. She's dead inside. She's
been dead since I was a little kid.
Right.
And I can't let it go. It's that.
Why not?
I don't know, Max. I'm not a doctor. I don't know why. Because that little boy, that little girl, we all have the little kid inside us that has not been told, hey, this is why I did it. I left you. I never came back for you. It makes me feel unworthy, unloved. It has totally toppled the rest of the fucking cans in my life. So that's why there's dents there. Mm-hmm. And if she was right here in front of me now, I would have no feelings for her. I would not. Maybe I'm sure they're covered up somewhere, and someone watching here has got deep feelings like this too, and they can't let it go. I know for a fact we have a viewer, and I will not make a definition. I talked to this person personally, and this person has issues with a parent. I'll make it there. And this person told me, I'm never going to forgive that person. And I think this person has a right to feel that way. And I feel that way sometimes too. And if you can do it, you're way far ahead. But I think the ones that need Jesus is the most, the concept, sometimes can't accept it. It's not in the cards, man.
I see what you're saying. So to restate what you said, sometimes the people who need the concept or need the love, need the forgiveness, everything that Jesus represents, can't.
Correct.
And you don't have the reason why they can't. They just can't.
I think it's not in the playbook, man. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have 4-wheel drive and your Ford Pinto,
which No one did, but anyway, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bunch of Ford Pintos out there
Right.
created by this imaginary God that you think is existing. So he's cranking out Ford Pintos and then making the terrain the Rocky Mountains. And all these little Ford Pintos are sliding down the mountains, spinning their wheel with the check engine light on. My AAA card expired. I'm out of gas. I'm going to get eaten by a water buffalo or whatever's out there. And there's your Jesus. And I just think doesn't go with what is on paper in the these, thous, and those Bible with the red print bullshit feeding the 5,000 people, which, again, sounds great. But don't think it happened.
I think there's God that lives in you. There's God that lives in me.
He moved out.
And he moved out.
He got evicted.
I think there's God that lives in every one of the people that watch this. And I think it's in your head. As much as you don't believe.
There's a lot of shit in my head that
but
needs
as much
to come
as you don't
leaking out to you.
believe, and as much as I do believe, I think we all have the power to manifest whatever we want. So if you're manifesting that I can forgive, and I don't know what unconditional love is because I've never felt it. Who am I to say that you're wrong? Seriously, or anyone watching is wrong. I'm not saying that. I still believe. And I believe that forgiveness and truly loving other people and acting in that love, I feel like that's the only path where you're going to minimize the pain and you're going to see good things manifest in your life. I really do.
I hope you're right. I don't disrespect you. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying little old me doesn't have that kind of power right now. Some things, bulletproof, man. Walk through a fiery wall. Other things, little pinky pushes you over. I think somebody watching can relate to that whole thing too. And we are sensitive beings and creatures. We're all different. That's the thing too. Mm-hmm. You know, and sometimes a little thing would bother you, and I'm thinking, blow it off. Other people, you know, and I think we have to be conscious of that, and to get to know yourself is a lifelong process as well. Don't you feel that? You uncover parts of your onion, and you have to want to do that, and put the work in too. Do your daily manifestations and your exercise, and physically eat good, and mentally and spiritually. And God, I don't have time to watch the Packers and to eat lunch and to go to work and to all that. So there's limited time, and it's just all a big mess of blurry shit. And that's why we're here, to pick the peanuts out of the shit for you.
Here's the good news.
Yep.
Whether Dobie wants to admit it or not, Jesus is real, and he loves you.
I think Jesus works at Taco Bell as the night manager, and it's pronounced Jesus. And again, I mean no disrespect. If Jesus works for you, we're not going to pick on religions. That's one we were growing up in. Like I said, you mentioned all the other ones. Sometimes it works. I think the practitioners of any religious denomination that are good people, the goodness will come through, and religion will assist that. Do you not agree?
I see your point.
And I think there's good people that happen to call themselves Christians that would be good people. Are there good people that are atheists? I think there probably are. I'm more of an agnostic. I want something to come out of the sky. I just haven't seen it yet.
I don't think it's in the sky. I think it's inside us. We have to open the gate.
There's a black vortex inside me that I've been trying to lose. I mean, joke about it is one thing. That's why we're talking. But nobody talks about this stuff, man. And hopefully there's a movement or a community that we can get together and make it a little bit better. There have been so many people through so many generations that died unfulfilled, pissed off, bitter. I'm getting that way too, and I don't want to be that way. I really don't.
Getting that way? Did you just say I'm getting that way?
I was that way. No, I was that
You mean
way. No,
you came
I
from
know.
another place,
See,
and you're getting that way?
No, now you're joking about that. But see, I don't want to. There's so much pain, man. That's why that people say. Yeah, we talked about this in another episode. Comedy friends say, "Oh, I pulled a Dobie the other day. I yelled at a guy." I don't want to be known for that.
Yeah.
But it is there. I'm not the first one. It's like trying to get gum off your hair, off your finger. It's there, man. How do you do it? I don't know. I don't think it's Jesus. If you think it is and it works for you, and I know people that it has worked for. So, what's our happy note? We're ending on a happy note today. We're supposed to.
I already gave it.
Okay. Well, I'll be miserable. You be you. Max will be Max. We'll be back for more episodes on the Dented Cast. If you don't like something, if you do like it, we hope you subscribe. We hope you come back and see more. We got a lot of stuff in the can that you need to hear, and we need to hear it too. So whether you're here or not, we're going to still do it. Please come be part of it. Hang out with us. We love you.
And in the voice of J.J. Morgan on Sweet 98 in Omaha, Nebraska. Thank you both for listening.